All my friends who began a relationship in the past 3 months are starting to break up, which means either all women are evil or summer is over and it's time to go back to school. Anyways, I decided to make a presentation on all the things I didn't learn in college so that you can see how useless those 4 years are. Oops, wrong presentation. So the first thing I didn't learn in college, this is my diploma in case anyone needed proof that I'm a reliable source on this topic. But the first thing I didn't learn in college is the color chartreuse. And I know you didn't learn it either because that is not the color chartreuse. This is also not the color chartreuse. Yeah, that's right. No one actually knows what chartreuse is. It's actually a palish yellowish green. Unless you're Helen Keller, because then this is chartreuse, and this is chartreuse, and this is also chartreuse. Moving on to the second thing I didn't learn in college, nobody actually loves their job. Have you ever considered how dumb the concept of a dream job is? Who actually dreams of working? Like, isn't that the lowliest dream that you could have? Look, to help put things in perspective, I've made a small presentation within a presentation on 3 things I dream about in no particular order. Starting with number 1, we got ending homelessness. Valid dream. Number 2, seeing IU in concert. Another valid dream. And finally, we got number 3, her as a concept. Realizing I am actually the guy she has needed the whole time and not that stupid K-pop star looking dude that will never ever notice her, leading her to texting me at 11:32 p.m. on a Friday night, hey, what you doing? Again, another valid dream. You see what I'm saying though? There are so many things we should dream about that are bigger and far more nobler than just a job. And the truth is, having been out of college now and having friends that do actual work, I can see now that in a lot of us, work is just work. According to a study done by the Society of Asian Man, 99% of people don't completely love their job. I know guys who are doing exactly what they wanted to do for work, and even they don't completely love their job because at the end of the day, most jobs, they're gonna make you do at least some things that you don't want to do. Which means if you are looking for perfect fulfillment in a job, you're gonna put yourself through hell because that is near impossible to find. That's why I think it's better to stop chasing a dream job and start chasing a dream life. Wow, I sound like I'm gonna sell you a pyramid scheme now. Life is so much more than just your job. Like, just purely mathematically, if you work 40 hours a week, that still leaves you 128 hours of your life to find fulfillment elsewhere. That's 168/168ths of your life. It's about 3/4. So instead of trying to find a dream job, let me present a different framework for finding a job that might be helpful, especially in this economy. The first thing you want to do is take a list of things that you are good at. Things that you do better than the average person. Then you want to take a list of things you are okay doing almost every day. These are just a list of things that are tolerable for you. Finally, what you're going to do is then take a list of things the world will pay you to do. Find the intersection of these 3 lists and you will find a job just for you. Now, the goal with this job is to become just good enough at this job so that you can get to a level where you're adding more hours on top of the 128 hours of life you have away from work so that you can just maximize your purpose. I think if you do this, you'll find a little more peace and a little more fulfillment than trying to chase the 1% of people who really, really love their job. Hey, you know what else brings peace and fulfillment? Chartreuse. No, not that one. This one. See, if you learned about chartreuse in college, you would know that chartreuse is also the name of an alcoholic drink, and what better way to peace and fulfillment than drinking? Lesson number 3 that you didn't learn in college: half your friends that drink to have fun will end up with a drinking problem in their 20s. Let me show you how this works. Here are all my friends in a circle. And here are all my friends who drank to have fun in college in a smaller circle. Now, we're gonna go a little crazy here. We're gonna put all my friends who ended up with a drinking problem in an even smaller circle. And there you have it. This is how half my friends who drank to have fun ended up with a drinking problem. Wait, who's George? Look, no one wants to admit it, but seeing how many drinks you can have before you pass out isn't actually that cool. And I know there's this thing called FOMO, which stands for fear of missing out. Wow, I sound like a boomer right now. But a lot of people go into college and are like, yo, this is the one time in my life that I'm supposed to have fun and test my limits. And this type of thinking isn't always wrong, except sometimes it leads to negative consequences. There are so many people I know who drank heavy in college that said they'll stop when they graduate and lock in. But it's actually harder than you think to break 4 years of life habits. Which leads me to the next thing you don't learn in college. Half your friends that end up with a drinking problem will find God. Let me show you how this works. This is all my friends in a circle. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do this again. I'm just gonna say though, if you take all the people with a drinking problem, they usually either find God, some external community helps them like Alcoholics Anonymous, or they carry their drinking problem into their 30s or to death. It's a hard way to learn a lesson, but sometimes people just need a lot of pain to see God clear for the first time. And I think it's because that is the moment when we realize the hope isn't actually in ourselves. Let me show you how this works through this diagram. This will actually be useful, I promise. Let's say you have a body. Now, if any of you have pooped before, the way it works is what comes out is only the product of what you put in. You can't poop what you don't eat. In the same way, if the character inside of someone is clean and pure, then out of that body can come clean and pure actions. This is a process called osmosis, I think. But let's say the body isn't clean and isn't pure, but is actually just full of evil. Wait, this looks like I'm depicting black people as evil. Hold on, let's try this again. Wait, now it looks like I'm making fun of Indians. Screw it, let's just do it chartreuse, because I can't be racist towards Asians. Oh, that's racist. Yo, I would never do that. Why are you laughing? All this chartreuse represents evil. And if there's only chartreuse inside of someone, then all that can osmosis out of the body is also evil. Now, how does this relate to alcoholism and finding God? Well, I think it's when you're at your lowest that you kind of see just how bad you are. I mean, if I think about it, a lot of the trouble that I got myself into it. So I think there's actually a lot more bad in me than I'd like to admit at most points. But this isn't a bad thing, because this realization can actually be the start of real hope. The only chance some of us get at defeating addiction and killing our demons is to put our faith not in an evil body that only puts out evil things and has failed over and over again to fix itself, but to put that faith and put that trust in something outside of us. In this diagram, someone on the outside has to come and make the inside of the body pure again. There has to be someone outside of me that is stronger and mightier and gooder, that comes and interrupts everything I'm doing and fills me up for good. That's God, no? That's the only chance some of us get. Finding God. You know what you don't find in college though? Your wife. Because that close female friend you have, you will either marry her or she will marry someone else and you will never talk to her ever again. Let me prove this to you using a tool I like to call the Simp Tree, or the Simp Tree for short. Everyone needs to learn this in college, by the way, so lock in real quick. So in order to get a tree, you need a seed. And so you start with meeting a girl. From there, you can either talk to her or you are shy. If you are shy, she marries someone else. If you talk to her though, then you can either enjoy talking to her or find out she's interested in your friend. If she's interested in your friend, two more things can happen. She can either end up marrying someone else or marrying your friend. If she marries someone else, that branch ends there. But if she marries your friend, then you lose trust in all of your guy friends because they are selfish people who never cared about you anyways, and so you go back to the top of the tree and you burn the entire shy branch down because you have now lost trust in all of your guy friends and only talk to girls. But let's say you enjoy talking to the girl. Then she will either enjoy it too, or she'll text you, hey, just making sure we're just friends, right? And then end up marrying someone else. But if she enjoys it too, this is the part where y'all become close friends. And at this point, you can either tell her everything about your life or be a logical human being and create boundaries. In which case, say it with me now, she ends up marrying someone else. But if by the off chance you tell her everything, she will fall in love with you. The real you. The honest, vulnerable version of you that you thought you could hide behind the nice collared shirt and the khaki pants that you wore on your first date. And a couple years after that date, you will see her walking down the aisle and you will cry tears. So many tears at the thought that anyone, and much less her own father, would trust you to take care of this wonderful, precious human being. Or she'll realize you are a disgusting human being and get the ick because you trauma dumped on her and end up marrying someone else. You see how hard it is to actually find the love of your life? There is literally one situation in the entire Simp Tree where you find her, whereas she ends up married in every situation, which is why I'm a meninist and hate women. Now this wouldn't be all that bad if you could stay friends, but you ever have a dog? Like an absolute dog get married. They got a new family and y'all still dogs, but now they have other things and people to prioritize over you. So to him, you're more like a puppy now that is just desperate for attention that he can't always give you. But it's even worse when this dog is a girl. Wow, there's a double meaning there, but my mind isn't as filthy as yours, so I'm not gonna say the joke. But if you are friends with the girl, I know that's hard for some of you guys. Literally everything you provided for her and more is found in her husband. All this is to say, I know the world likes to make it seem like if you're a guy and you got plenty of girls to talk to, you're the man. No, you're not. You're just wasting time. Once you or her get married, there is simply a level of closeness that you will never ever reach with her again unless you're a homewrecker. So no matter what the world tells you, you don't need a bunch of female friends to be a cool guy. And odds are, if y'all are close friends, you will either end up marrying her or she will marry someone else and you will never talk to her ever again. That being said, the next thing they don't teach you in college is if you don't marry that close female friend you have, you will not get married until you are 35. You will not meet any new people after college. But if by the off chance you do and it is a woman and she is wifey material, she will either already be taken or will think you are a creep because she is wifey material, which means she is wholesome with high values, which means she doesn't just give any random stranger who goes up to her on the street a chance. God! Anyways, last thing you don't learn in college, this is a personal one. This is actually the number one thing I wish I learned in college because it would have saved me so much time. Zootopia 2 will not drop by the time you graduate. I've been waiting gosh darn 8 years for Judy to leave this toxic fox, and man, if I knew it'd take this long for her to confess her love to me, I might have actually locked in college and talked to girls and, I don't know, try to find my wife. Wait, is he wearing chartreuse? Honestly, this should have just been titled A Presentation on Chartreuse.